This movie has Sean Astin and Ke Huy Quan in it. And it hit me till I watched Jeremy Jahns' review of this movie that they were both in the Goonies. Bad Scotty. Bad Scotty. Anyway, hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome. I didn't say welcome back. Welcome back to what? To my catch up on the reviews that I've missed this year? Because, yeah, love hurts. Hey, again, minus points for not having the song in the movie. Alright? If you're going to have a movie that's named after a song, have the song in the movie. Case in point, Borderline. Alright? They had the song in the movie. The Madonna song. It was a cover, but it's still in the movie. You couldn't have someone do a cover. I don't know. But, no. What song do we get? You think it's a play at the end of the movie. What song do we get? The things we do for love. Like walking in the rain and the snow and the nowhere to go. And you feeling like a part of you is dying. That song. It's a good song, but it's not what I was waiting for. There was even a point in the movie where the woman he's in love with shoots him with a taser gun. That could just love it. Could have done that. Because that's literally his love hurting him. No, the movie is one of those movies you've seen before where it's older guy is working mundane job, but he secretly used to be an assassin. So now his old life has come back to him. It's John Wick. It's nobody. It's any movie with Liam Neeson nowadays. It's all that. But this time, he's Chinese. So it's different. Kinda. And it's on Valentine's Day. So there's that. But yeah, he was Asian. He is an Asian. He was a spy. he was an assassin that was molded and crafted by his own brother, known as the Jackal or some shit. I don't remember what his name is called, and I haven't plugged in the TV yet to figure it out. Anyway, known by his own brother to be a killing machine, and one day he had to kill this woman named Rose, who he has fallen in love with, and so he acted like he killed her, but he didn't. He lied, and he sent her away, and now that's come back. He's living this mundane life as a real estate salesman. Now, well, she's back, and there's hell to pay, and yeah. This movie came out, and it looked fun from the trailers. I didn't watch it till now, obviously, about the movie, because it looked interesting. Honestly, I bought the movie and then forgot it came out this year. For some reason, I thought it was last year because it was so close to the beginning of this year. And that's another reason why this movie didn't do much. Is like, oh, any movie that comes out in February or January, not a good movie. That's bullshit, by the way. Now, there's been some good movies that come out in January, in February. You just need to stop thinking that just because it comes out then it's going to be bad. Also, it's not a horror movie, so usually only counts for horror movies, but, you know. And this may be because I just watched another action-fueled movie. These two back-to-back worked very well. Novocaine, Love Hurts. Kind of an oxymoron if you think about it. No pain, pain. Pain, no pain. Pain, no pain. It works. Somehow it works. And they both work because I think both leads work. Ke Huy Quan, doing a pretty good job. I'm struggling not to call him Jonathan Ke Quan, which is what he was referred to for years, but now he's going by his real name again. So, Ke Huy Quan. Really good in this movie. He's an Oscar winner for a reason, and he does a really good job with this guy who was in love with this woman, and now he's working his job. He loves this life. He loves the people that are in his life. He brings cookies to work all the time. Or at least according to the one day we see him at work. And he loves his job. And he loves, the people that are in his life. And even his rival named Jeff, who is one of the Scott brothers. Drew Scott, I think it is. Not Jonathan, Drew. But then an assassin called the Raven comes knocking on his office door. And I do like they have a fight, and he's trying to keep it quiet from the secretary named Ashley. and like trying to keep it quiet, and then he like at first you think he killed him, and she's like, "Oh, there's a dead guy in your office," in case you didn't know, but he's not dead. He's a dead poet, is what she said. Oh, you say dead poet? Oh, Captain, my Captain, I did it wrong. Oh, Captain, my Captain. I eventually want to talk about that movie, but anyway, um, but yeah, just his brother. So his brother is sending the Raven to do his dirty work so that he can bring his brother back in so they can find out what happened to Rose. The biggest problem that comes from this confrontation is that the Raven only keeps attacking him because he wants to know where Rose is. Marvin doesn't know where Rose is, so he keeps saying, "I don't know," which is the truth. But in these kind of circumstances, no one ever believes that. But I want to point out, there was really no way he would know in this circumstance. Because, like, if he just let her go, obviously he's not going to tell him where she is. Right? So, then the other side you have Rose, who has decided she's done hiding and wants to take this revenge. And she's putting all these love letters out there, these Valentine's letters to people. And I will admit, it is a little weird that 54-year-old Kei Kwan and 34-year-old Ariana DeBose are supposed to be love interests. They don't really have chemistry. So at the end, when all this is done and he confesses his love to her, it doesn't necessarily work. And maybe it's because you're sitting here and you have that disconnect where it's like he's 54, she's 34. That's 20 years apart. Which, if you're both over 18, age is just a number. People say it's creepy, but if you're both over 18 and you met, I should say, and you met after you were both 18. I'm not saying you should be someone over 18, stalking someone under 18 till they are 18. Don't do that. You both need to meet after you're already 18. That's trying to keep things legal here. Just saying. But yeah, age is just a number at that point. But like, I don't know. Maybe that's where the disconnect is, because it doesn't really seem like. And they're not really lovers, because they haven't really confesses their love for each other. He doesn't confess his love for her till the end, like I said. So it's like he's in love with her, but we never get the sense that she's in love with him. She's just there for revenge. And I half expected her to turn around and be like, "That's nice," and like, not give it back. Oh, there's an alternate ending. When we get to the end of my review, I will pause, watch the alternate ending, and get back to you. Anyway. But yeah, and then there's these two other assassins, King and What's-His-Face. What's-His-Face he's having problems with his wife, and King is Marshawn Lynch. That's right, Marshawn Lynch, football player for the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know why, and he does a tackle. A 3-point stance and a tackle at some point, and it says beast mode. There you go, football fans. Yeah. There's also, like I mentioned, Sean Astin in this. And I swear to God, it did not hit me till I watched Jeremy John's review of this, and he brought it up, and I went, why did it not hit me till then? Why? I said, oh, it's Sean Astin, Lord of the Rings, and Encino Man, and I didn't. Ke Huy Quan also in Encino Man. He's the Asian guy talking to Link at one point. He's in that movie, yeah. And retroactively, after watching the movie, in hindsight, it is good to see them back together again. And actually, that makes the scenes between them even better. And even Sean Astin's character's sacrifice, where he won't, he's like, I don't know where he is. I don't know, he's like a brother to me. And his own brother's like, you are not his fucking brother. Stabs him with a boba straw. Why are they selling metal straws like that? That's dangerous. no. No, they end up hiding. I will say that some of the fight scenes seem very prolonged. Like I feel like the fight in his office could have been shorter, and the fight at his house between the other King and the other dude goes a bit way too long. At one point he knocks them both out of the house. Like he stabs King with a knife so he can't fire the gun, and he runs off. That really should have been it, but King somehow gets out of it and runs after him. Though she does show up shortly after that, so I guess maybe that is the end. They had at one of his houses that he's trying to sell. Then things don't make sense. They stay there the night. The next day, people who are buying the house just show up. Somehow thinking the guy selling the house is going to be there. It's never explained how they knew he was going to be there. They just do, we want to finalize the house, we're going to buy it. It just makes no sense. They should have just called the agency, right? Why did they show up to a house in which they had no idea if the guy was going to be there or not? It doesn't make any sense. There's also another kind of love thing going on between Ashley, the secretary, who's running gag is that she always quits. Because she's like, oh, I quit. Again? You know, he's like, I did like that. Again? Just like, I just called you to tell you I quit. Again? So he says that. But like, he's like, well, I need you to bring the paperwork to the house for them to sign. And it turns out the Raven is also there and they're in love. And they show up. And then King and the other guy also show up. This time with loaded weapons. And there's also a subplot, I'll come back to this. Also a subplot that the second in command of the brother is secretly stealing money, laundering money from him. And that's why he needs this to be hush-hush. And he needs King and the other dude to finish it off instead of the Raven. So that the Raven doesn't spoil anything, you know. And he's like, he wants to take them both out. But then he calls Rose to meet him somewhere. Which doesn't go anywhere because he ends up dead anyway. And then you have Drew Scott, the Jeff, who sees the things going on and tries to help, but he ends up dead. And so then Marvin, which is Ke Huy Quan's character in this movie, and the Raven team together and defeat. They don't kill. They defeat King and the other dude. And they start fighting each other again. And I'm like, wait. This makes no sense. It's also, Ashley can pull them apart and say, stop. You can't kill him because I love him. The Raven, not Marvin. Okay, we kind of already figured that. But why did they start fighting each other then? They had a truce. And it doesn't make any sense because with these two, who are also working for the brother, but they're working for Merlot, but working for the brother, Alvin and Marvin is the name. The brother's name is Alvin. But anyway, he's kind of out of a job now. Yeah, he still wants to finish his job. I don't know. So Marvin decides to take Jeff's car and chase after her. And we have a showdown scene in a bar. Showdown scene, not seat. Showdown scene in a bar where he kills a bunch of the henchmen and then was head-to-head with his brother, where the brother reveals that he killed Sean Astin. And then you know, showdown between two brothers, in which he doesn't kill his brother, and then you think she's gonna kill him, but then she just shoots him and reveals, actually, I sold your ass out to the Russians. Uh-oh, the Ruskies are here. They come in, they shoot him again, and they take him away. And they say in Russian, thank you for the information. And yeah, she's like, let's say, go back to your normal life. After she's convinced him to become the man he was before, now she wants him to go back to that. And he's like, actually, I'm going to tell you, I love you. She's like, say it again like you mean it. And again, she doesn't feel like there's any kind of connection here. And he kisses her, and we find out that the King and the other guy are still alive, and I guess his big goodbye that he said to his wife worked. And also, Raven, and Ashley are going to be a couple, I guess. And then we just see, you have another narration, and then she's with, yeah. He walks into the bar, and she's standing there, and then, the things we do for love, like walking in the rain and the snow. Minus points for No Love Hurts, okay? Now I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to check out the alternate ending. I'll get back to you. Huh. So I watched the alternate ending, and so it starts from the point after they've killed everyone and sent his brother off to the Ruskies. The Ruskies. He confesses his love to her. She says, "Say it again. Make me believe it." They kiss, and then she goes, "You call yourself a salesman," and shocks him again. Cut to middle of the fucking desert. He wakes up, and she goes, if you find your way back, or if you make it back, come find me." And then she's like, "Oh, by the way, I love you too, Marvin." And it just ends with him standing there as she drives off, and he smiles. Now, that would have been a perfect point for it to be like, "Love hurts, love scars." That would have been perfect, because you can't do the things you do for love with that ending. What the fuck is that ending? I can see why they changed it. It's a far more happier ending, where it's like, what would you do with this ending? Right? What would you do with it? It doesn't... I don't know. It doesn't work. But... I don't know. But it also ties into this crystal that he's had throughout the film, which kind of gets forgotten about at the end of the other one, so... I don't know. But yeah, I actually kind of like this. I'll give it a low... pretty good. A low one. It's not bad. I had fun with it. Glad they changed the ending, because I don't know how I would have thought of it. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Love Hurts? Comment, so much, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.